Second episode of 2024. Here we are. I think it's worth just kind of talking about our experience and give some background VIP access.
To just getting to this episode today?
Yeah.
I feel like this morning was a journey. We actually were on time. You were on time. Historically.
I was 15 minutes late, which is...
Were you? Oh.
Which is like on time for me. I could tell you were slightly unaware of the time because you received me with warmth.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I think that's because I was running behind this morning.
Perfect.
So it made it feel like you were on time.
All right.
Which is great because historically...
I would say
timeliness is not...
I view time as a loose construct.
Yes,
and
100%.
Every single morning I wake up, well, the night before, I say, tomorrow you're going to get on the same page as everyone else. And something just gets away from me. And I don't know. I made it. After we sat down and reviewed the episode last time, we noticed some developments that took...
What I've learned is podcasting is not for the faint of heart.
It's not. And you have to have a rock solid self-image, slightly delusional self-image that long videos don't rock your self-confidence. And they have a little bit for me. Last time I thought I was wearing super cute and trendy little fit, just kind of drowning in my oversized cropped vest. And as the episode went on, it grew. And the effect was actually...
took on a life of its own.
It wasn't one where the eye starts looking at me as smaller. It's almost as if I grew with the vest. So that was lesson learned. And I'm sure I'll learn many more. Also, hair.
Importance of hair, wardrobe. We really just need a glam squad.
Hair sticking out there, like hair kind of wrapped around my neck throughout the episode. Insert photo here. So gel needed to be a main character in today's episode, and
which it was.
It is. Brought to you by Tresemme. Not really.
Not a sponsor, but
And then, the trials and tribulations only took a turn this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have to clean cat poop out of my dog's mouth prior to filming,
and this is why moms are superheroes. Have we released an episode where because we have about 10 in the vault, so have we released an episode where we explain the relationship between I don't
think that
babies?
one ever made it
made the surface. Didn't see the light of day.
No.
Great content in there.
Definitely still in the vault. We both adopted golden retriever puppies back in September.
Meg
so
did sisters in a very admirable way, talked it through with her husband, went through a pros and cons list. I knew he said no and he has said no, so I'm going to do it anyway and surprise him when it's done. And
it all worked out in our favor, though.
Sunny and Lucy.
Nobody really warns you. I assume it's similar to motherhood to a human child, of where like nobody really warns you of like XYZ certain things, of how hard it is. Being a puppy parent
to a golden retriever,
nobody warns you about how hard it is.
Yeah, like I grew up with
no idea
headache of a dog, but I don't remember. Like I only experienced him as a kid and a dog, and I loved him.
Yeah, I never had a puppy. We always had dogs who were adolescents, and like established dogs.
100%. And golden doodles, anything of the doodle mix doesn't count. And I stand by that
Doodles
because they're
real.
A hack of a dog.
Yes.
They're literally the easiest dog to train.
They're
My family
real.
dog was the easiest thing. Golden retrievers, they're animals. And I never experienced
mine
that.
loves cat poop.
Yeah. And they have a drive unlike anything I was anticipating.
Yeah. I also have another dog, Huxley, who is
Uncle Huxley.
The opposite of a golden retriever. He's a chow mix, and chows by nature are very just aloof and kind of, they're stubborn, but they just kind of
this is so him.
Just chill.
Him
and I have very similar personalities, I would say. Whereas Lucy is the complete opposite.
Firecracker.
I actually realized this the other day when we were walking, because I love walking Huxley because he does not want to interact with other people. He just keeps his eye on the road, stays focused, doesn't want to interact with others, which same. Walking.
What do they call
Lucy,
that? Simpatico.
Lucy is the complete opposite, where she will see a person 50 yards away and wants to go and greet them or thinks that they want to come and see her. Mm-hmm. That is I don't want to talk to people. I just don't want to interact. Yeah. Lucy loves people. I don't. So walks with us is always a trial and tribulation of just getting through it.
We should trade places, because I think I don't want to talk to people, but now our neighborhood dog walkers do know Sunny and do cross the street to get away from Sunny, and it hurts. And I thought I wouldn't want to talk.
When I'm walking Lucy, I cross the street to get away from people so that we don't have to interact with them, because Lucy only wants to interact with them, and I just don't have it in me.
I've had so many dog owners say, oh, they get along with anyone. They love puppies. They're around puppies. They had one interaction, which I thought went well. Yes, Sunny was a little excitable, and she turns the other way. She walks across the street, and she puts her head down, and I'm like, I thought we were literally friends, and we're not. We're not.
I mean, you have to remember, they are puppies. Yeah. And golden retriever puppies on top of that. Just like the energy levels are through the roof. And they can't control it. They're cute. So you can't be that mad at them for too long.
Yeah. Smart. They're really smart.
So yeah, that was our morning. We made it here.
To sum it up, dog troubles, storage troubles with the computer.
Yeah, who knew that
Apple, I have a bone to pick with you. Don't release 4K
if it's going to eat up your entire storage on your laptop. Granted, I don't have a lot of storage on my laptop, because when I went to buy my laptop 2 years ago, what do I need storage for? I'm using it to online shop and play Sims. But now, I was
going to say, Sims is an important...
it is. But now that we are professional podcasters, I need the space. Yeah. And unfortunately... that meant removing Sims from my laptop. I had to make the really tough decision yesterday.
It's on a flash drive.
It's on a flash drive still.
Yep.
Because I couldn't fully part with it.
Yeah.
But after my Genius Bar date with Bob, we're going through the storage on my laptop, me and Bob, trying to figure out what's eating up all this extra space.
Bob's our realists.
He is. So we're going through the breakdown, which I appreciate. There's a visual. He's getting rid of the things I don't need.
Yep.
And then he makes the point of, if you are done playing with Sims, you can free up 20 gigabytes of space. And I said, yes, Bob, I am aware.
He didn't say using Sims. He said playing. Yes. And I think that's when we realized it was time to put our professional careers first.
Yes. So Sims is on the back burner for now. Gone but not forgotten.
It's sleeping.
Yes.
It's there. Just side note on Sims. That is the Venn diagram between Gen Z and millennial is Sims. And
like it's in the middle, like the crossover, or there is no crossover?
There is crossover, but only Gen Zers with millennial siblings, I feel like, because I grew up watching my siblings play Sims 1 and I was hooked. Yeah. And I didn't really understand when my sister, who was in college, in biology, full-time athlete, I gave her for her birthday an expansion pack of university Sims.
Nice.
I was a 4th grader. I didn't understand why she wasn't excited, but I got to play it. So really it was a core memory.
Did you ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon or any of the Tycoons?
Of course. I played Zoo Tycoon. Roller Coaster Tycoon didn't do it for me. It was too architectural.
I ever played Zoo Tycoon. Roller Coaster Tycoon was my brother and my jam.
I did play it, but I felt like it was too focused on the roller coasters. Like I wanted to get in there and monitor the animals and the guests.
Yeah.
And that was the first sign that I would find myself in customer service. The customer service region. That's when my passion reared its head.
True. The entrepreneurship that went into having to run a business like that. An amusement park of having to make sure that your guests were happy, 100%. Everything was functioning.
Do we have the money for more benches? No, but they look good.
I mean, honestly, as kids, that should have been like a course requirement of just like budgeting, running a business. Who needs like family and consumer sciences? Yeah. Roller Coaster and Zoo Tycoon. 100%. Teaches you everything you need to know.
I think developmentally, the cheat codes in Sims did stunt something within me, because my mindset of I can work, but I can get money somewhere else.
Yeah, Rosebud. Yeah.
Mother load.
And the lesson learned is that there is no cheat code for life.
Yeah. And sometimes I have to be like, Emma, no.
Don't do it.
Have to work. There's no cheat code. And I have to kind of fix those wires that went awry back when I was younger.
All good lessons, though.
Great lessons. I do agree. There should be an intensive course in Sims, Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Wow. We're just here changing the school curriculum, changing the public school system.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely opportunity for better, I would say.
For sure. So let's get into it. What's happened since last week?
Oh, where do you want to start?
I mean, let's just start off with Vanderpump Rules, get that big one out of the way. The new episode 4 of the current season dropped last night.
Watching this episode, it's very focused on Tom and his like mental health.
Yes.
Which I think is important. I think I'm just getting exhausted. Yeah. I think we said this in the you said this in the last episode of like, if you're not into the whole Scandival thing, that's going to be this entire season. Yes. That's what they've got. And I already feel myself becoming fatigued by it all. Because I feel like it's just so after the fact now. Like we have moved on. We are over it. So like reliving it and rehashing it all just makes me more frustrated.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, okay, this is the facts of it all is this guy cheated on his girlfriend with her best friend. And at the end of the day, it's kind of a tale as old as time.
It is, yes.
I'm not defending infidelity and cheating. I think it's awful and should not happen.
Yeah.
But then Gabe and I were watching a Dateline episode this past weekend.
And you're like, crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
In this Dateline episode, the wife ended up being killed by her husband. Her husband, however, was having an affair with his wife's best friend for 3 years.
Yeah, it is a tale as old as time.
Happens all the time. And so, meanwhile, we are just like picking this one singular situation apart when I think we're forgetting like this. I mean, it's not great that it happens all the time. It shouldn't be, but it does. But because it's in the spotlight, because we've watched these people, have watched them grow up pretty much, it's just...
No, that is the...
I'm exhausted by it.
I think you definitely touched on the issue viewers are having, which is... It's not the situation that is so novel. Like, this is a tale as old as time. It's the fact that we've had front row seats to this relationship and a season was filmed while the affair was going on. But the thing is, between now, the season coming out, and the Scandival unfolding and being revealed, we've already learned everything. We've basically learned everything through podcasts, through... Reddit.
Through them. Firsthand.
And I think it's so interesting because at the time, I'm like, good for them. They're capitalizing Vanderpump Rules. Like, I will never forget the season finale when they were in New York City and just, there were parties. Like, the Vanderpump soundtrack has been playing at clubs. Like, there was this revival of it, but we don't necessarily... We're not necessarily dying for more information because we have it all. So it's hard. And I'm trying just to like appreciate the nuances and not, we know the facts. Like, I'm not really interested in the facts. I'm more interested in the dynamics, but it is hard. Like, we have to talk ourselves into being interested because we've already been satisfied pretty much.
Yes.
Also, I was thinking, I wonder if Lala, you know how her storyline this season is that she's letting go of anger, and I do think that's based in a truth in her life, but I also wonder if what's not being said is that she's watching Ariana ride this wave and hold on to the anger. And she's like, wait, that was me. I don't, everyone's sick of it. Like, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see it from the other side.
Yeah.
And it's not a great look.
Yeah. Cause she was jaded, and Ariana's jaded now, and Lala's had this 180. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, I'm transfixed on Billie Lee. I am. I don't know why.
I am too. Have they always been best friends? I mean,
there have been rumors that swirl around them. I don't think the best friends. And I liked Billie Lee when she first was on the show. I was rewatching. I liked her. She's a likable character. She's a likable person. Now it's just I mean, thirsty. It's just
there she is. When cold plunging with Tom. That scene was.
I was getting ready for them to go in together and do the thing. No, you would just
knelt down beside him as he like has this out of body experience.
How does
for
it feel?
For a second, I was like, this feels like it's a private. Like maybe we give him a beat and let him go through this. Nope, she's right there with him.
It was Tom's giving birth, and she's his
and then he
significant
sticks
other.
his whole face in, and she is like shocked by it. That was a weird scene. I couldn't look away.
That was the most empathy I think I've ever felt for Tom, because if I was doing a cold plunge, the last thing I would want is someone saying, scale of 1 to 10. How intense. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm focusing on my breathing. It's not like he's having some spiritual awakening and clearing the chakras. He's literally just trying to control his breathing. Calm down. Everyone and their mothers are doing the cold plunge. Him alone. Step away. And then I was just like, why are you here? Your makeup's still... Why are you here? That was too much for me. Also, I thought it was interesting how Vanderpump Rules has come so full circle. There was a moment in time where they started in these dingy apartments where you couldn't run the microwave and AC at the same time. Then they're living in mansions. Yes. Lala with Randall, Katie, even Ariana, Schwartz, everyone. And now they're back to like working out in their apartment. Yes. It's crazy.
Schwartz is back in that grimy old apartment. Lala is in like a townhome somewhere.
Yes. Schwartz, I'm liking the season. He has a self-awareness to him, which I do appreciate.
Does, right?
Yeah.
And this past episode, him and Lala having this conversation.
Yeah.
He's aware.
Yeah.
He is aware of his aloofness and his role that he played in this whole thing.
Yeah. And not an accessory to the affair.
Yes. Which, at the end of the day, it was not his responsibility.
It's not his responsibility. And
to... like pull the curtain back and be the whistleblower of your best friend's infidelity.
Yeah. And Ariana, the scenes are tough when she's just like, you're useless. And I think, and saying that to Tom, I get it. Like, I do get it. She's in the thick of it. And I think we all need to remember that. It's just like I said, we've moved past it. So to have the storyline be so classic, like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for different conversations. Yeah. 3 small things. Sheena, there was a line that I'm not sure if I heard correctly in not this most recent episode, but the one where they were doing the emo show. And she said, I've never wanted to be a pop star. I've wanted to be Gwen Stefani or Fergie, as if those are not
pop stars. I think her point was that she wanted to be the front person of a band and have people behind her.
A band. Oh, a band. Because Good as Gold just screams garage band making art.
Because like Gwen Stefani,
pop queen.
She was kind of her own.
She's kind of edgy
person
rock
though.
too,
like she didn't have a. And Fergie was part of Black Eyed Peas. So maybe she wants to be a part of a full person
R&B group
band.
I don't think she knew quite her point there, but that's fine. I thought that was classic. Also, Billie Lee definitely called paparazzi on herself. I stand by that. Raquel, did you see her teaser that she edited herself?
Yeah.
Just clipping Sheena left to right. Tom
honestly, it's a great clapback.
Great clapback. Great clapback. I mean, she's getting messy. I wasn't expecting her to get messy because I thought she was stepping away from the limelight, but she's getting right in there. And I think I think by
starting a podcast called Rachel Goes Rogue, you are opening yourself up to getting messy.
I think that was just the clever name, but she's actually going rogue, so good for her. I kind of love that little mess. Jax and Brittany, so TikTok, there's a total PR move happening right now where Jax and his publicist, a photo went like viral of them looking cozy at dinner, and everyone's like, Jax and Brittany split up, which no, they didn't. If they did, that's total PR for the Valley. Yeah. And I just hated how PR, like, it used to be a story would come out and we would take it for face value, and every now and then it would be like, this is for PR. But now it's like every story that comes out, there's a good chance it's for PR, and I'm annoyed because I want to dissect it. I don't want that to be too much of a component. Yeah, I'm losing you. I can see it.
Sorry.
So it's okay. It's okay. You can't win them all. It's fine. Anyways,
did I glaze over at a certain point?
Oh, 100%. Just so viewers know, I am very aware of when I lose Meg, and most of the time I keep going, and then it can go one of two ways. I fade out and I just skip to the next subject, or she then gives a rebuttal, and I'm like, oh, it's a conversation now. We're going for it. And we're going back and forth. Just our little rat-a-tat like. And then, so it's okay. I'm aware.
I saw on Instagram yesterday, Tom Sandoval did an interview with Interview Mag.
How could we miss this?
And I was so disturbed by it. And he was quoted as, quote, emerging heartthrob. He didn't refer to himself as an emerging heartthrob. The magazine referred to him as an emerging heartthrob, which I have many issues with.
I thought you were going with his other problematic story, but this is also very problematic.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where he has compared Sandoval to
O.J. Simpson,
yes, of course. And George Floyd?
Yes, of course.
Two things, maybe one or two things that will be in U.S. textbooks, and he compared himself to something that sparked a new wave of civil rights movement. So that's self-aware, and
that's that.
Tom will be blissfully unaware.
I think this is, maybe they've already said this, but I feel like this needs to be the last season of Vanderpump, which I think it's going to be, because there are now 2 new spin-offs from this like Vanderpump franchise.
Yeah.
We've got The Valley with Jax, Brittany, and Kristen starting soon. And then we've got Lisa Vanderpump's The Villa. I just saw this a day or two ago. She's having her own show called The Villa, which is going to be on Hulu, not even on Bravo. It's on Hulu. So it follows Lisa Vanderpump's The Chateau in the south of France, which is a hotel that she's opening. And it's intrigued about her staff, like the hotel staff.
Love.
Which kind of intrigued about.
Love, yeah.
More so than The Valley.
The Valley they didn't nail down the characters they needed to nail down. Stassi and Beau would have been.
That was a huge miss on their part. But I feel like Stassi was just not interested.
She didn't want to. She said like she doesn't want to go back. She's done with filming,
which I don't blame her.
Yeah.
So more interested in The Villa than The Valley, but we'll see. Okay, I'm ready to move on for Vanderpump.
Yeah, I think we exhausted that. Yeah, I know. It's like it is exhausting. Let's move on to something lighter. Something I know that you'll be just Harry Styles.
Ugh.
His Clark Kent era.
He also went into a hibernation, and he came back metamorphosized into a beautiful, I mean, he's always been beautiful. I've always been a Harry Styles fan. There's a little part of me that is still
missing the hair.
No, I was going to say is him and Taylor. Endgame at some point. There's still a part of me that's really holding on to that, but I've accepted the fact that it probably won't.
It's too good. We don't deserve things like that.
No, we don't. No, I don't miss the hair. I mean, I miss the shorter hair. I don't miss his long hair from like One Direction days. I do miss a little bit.
I think he watched the Beckham documentary and saw the way Beckham shaving his hair. He was known for his long hair, but he just surged in popularity when
his outfit was on point. Do you know where he was at?
Going?
I meant to look this up because all I was seeing was the pictures of him. I think he was at a soccer game. Don't quote me on that.
He watched
was definitely
the Beckham
going to like some type of sporting event, I think.
It looked like he was going to a conference meeting.
That's one area I did not dive deep into of where he was. That doesn't really matter, honestly.
Doesn't matter.
What matters is he was looking amazing. His outfit looked amazing. He, as a person, just...
Do you think that was strategic? Like, okay, this is going to be my
debut. Back out 1,000%.
I'm just like, what kind of music goes with this look? I'm thinking like some jazz, some instrumental.
No.
The sushi. No. The sushi. What's the sushi song? Dinner at a sushi restaurant. Sushi restaurant. I'm thinking that's very buttoned up. He looks a little buttoned up. Hey, we have to make predictions here.
We need to speculate, but I honestly don't know. I'll listen to anything. I don't really care. It could be him doing spoken word for all I care.
Yeah. I think when he made out with Emily Ratajkowski in Japan on the side of a van, that's when his publicist said, it's time to go.
We're going to
we're gonna
reel this back in,
rethink this.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That, like, it just was messy. I don't know. I didn't love it. Also, just side note, New York Fashion Week. I know nothing what's going on in the high fashion world, but equally as important is Teresa Giudice's daughter.
Yes. I'm fascinated by this.
How does she say daughter? Daughter. Mm-hmm. Her daughter walked, and she is such a sweet soul. Let me start by saying, because I don't want to,
this was the youngest daughter. The youngest daughter,
yes,
correct?
The youngest, who really is built like longer and lankier. Mm-hmm. So I think Teresa, this isn't a commentary.
She's the Kendall Jenner.
Yes, I think Teresa is like, I've seen this work before. I've seen this work with
Bella Hadid,
Gigi, Adriana Giudice.
Let's do it.
Let's go for it. And I think she could use some work on her walk, but
what show did she walk in?
That was not a part that I was interested in. I just nothing noteworthy.
Okay.
Not a household name by any means.
Gotta start somewhere.
Rachel Leviss, so sorry.
She was also in Fashion Week, right?
Yes, it was Sherry Hill vibes. So throwing it back to her
like pageant.
Yeah, and she actually looked good. And for the first time, I saw her through the lens of Monica Lewinsky. Like, I saw her through that lens of like a scorned woman who has been through a public, brutal trial in a sense. And she looked good. She
did look good. I'll
give her that. She looked well. I've had some brutal words for her in the past, so I'm trying to, with mental health being just at the forefront of last night's episode. It made me think. Lisa Vanderpump really, not made me think too hard, but I'm like, I should probably be a little.
She's looking well.
So
I do have People's Choice Awards down. I think you want to talk about something completely different than what I want to bring up at People's Choice Awards.
I need, as someone who is slightly concerningly obsessed with color analysis, because I have the tendency, as we know, to buy everything. So I've gotten into color analysis as a way to limit my options somewhat. And now that's all I see. Like, first thing I saw with Meg is she's in her autumn palette, and I'm so proud.
Thank you.
And these people need color analysis. One, too many black safe dresses, like Alex Earle. For the bigger award shows like Golden Globes, I forget if it was Golden Globes or Grammys. I get it, going with something
the
safe. The
People's Choice Award to me is like
Go Fun
MTV Music Awards.
Yes.
It's a like
Go Fun. She looked beautiful in this sequin black dress. It's like, it gave Versace vibes. I don't think it was Versace, but one, that's not on your palette, so that's my personal issue, my gripe. But two, you're a TikToker. Like, wear something fun. Wear something that's like setting the tone for Gen Zers. That's like a new take. I don't know. I think we know she has a beautiful body. We know she's beautiful. Like, go for a risk. And then Sydney Sweeney,
the
America's
red dress,
sweetheart. The red dress.
Oh, is that what we're calling her now?
Well, that's what everyone calls her.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone. I don't. She's not my sweetheart. I mean,
no, she's not mine.
I don't tend to use that. I don't think that word's in her vocabulary, so don't know who took over my body for a second. Should have known that wouldn't have landed well with you. But she looked sullen. Her makeup was horrendous. And I'm just like, how are people getting it so wrong? And as someone who always gets it right, my peekaboo last week, my hair everywhere, get it right. And so many black safe dresses, it was like black, white, red, and not a lot of experimentation with color. That would have been the perfect time to do some like 90s, 2000s throwback like outfit. I don't know. I was enraged.
You know who did look good? Not related to People's Choice Awards at all, but somebody's look that I was obsessed with recently is Blake Lively at the Super Bowl.
Loved.
Her hair looked amazing. Her outfit, her jewelry, like
track pants, jewelry.
It was perfect. They weren't pants. They were shants. They were shoe pants. The pants were like connected to her shoes. She posted it about it on Instagram. Yeah. Side note, she just looked amazing. I was obsessed with her entire look. I really liked
her outfit. Like,
she always gets it right. Whoever is her stylist, she
styles herself.
She does.
She notoriously styles herself.
That's impressive.
And like, some people have not many people can for her, but the thing I like about her is she has a style. It's a lot of like bold prints, like big hair, and And she doesn't always get it right, but she takes risks and she stays true to her style. She infuses trends, but it still has her stamp, and I love it.
Yeah.
If anyone needs a color analysis person,
I was gonna say, is this gonna be your plug?
Sydney Sweeney, are you out there? I have no certifications.
Just a Canva Unlimited profile.
Canva Unlimited profile, and just
the drive,
the delusion to make me think this is a good way to spend my time. So, People's Choice Awards, the award show, it wasn't my favorite.
I didn't even watch the People's Choice Awards. Didn't really even know that it was happening until after the fact. But I did see who won certain awards, and I
didn't even pay attention.
A bone to pick.
I
agree with most of the winners. Barbie by far kind of swept the board, which makes sense because it's the People's Choice. So Barbie won a ton of awards. But when it came to the reality show awards...
Was it the drag show? RuPaul's?
No.
It's always RuPaul.
So there was Reality Show of the Year and then Reality TV Star of the Year.
Okay, lay it on me. I'm unaware.
Do you want to know who the nominees were? And then I'll tell you the winner. So the nominees of the Reality Show of the Year: 90 Day Fiancé. I mean,
is that still going?
You know. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I loved it back in the day.
It's still there.
Classic.
Below Deck. Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I didn't know that was a thing, but cool. Selling Sunset. Vanderpump Rules.
Not Selling Sunset.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then Real Housewives of New Jersey. And the Kardashians. The winner was the Kardashians.
They paid for that. Like, I'm not
Followed by the Reality TV Star winner was Khloe Kardashian.
I think Khloe has won every year.
Hell, she was up against Ariana from Vanderpump Rules, Chrishell from Selling Sunset, Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Candy from Atlanta, Kim Kardashian was also nominated, Kyle from Beverly Hills, and Mike the Situation.
This is so rigged. It's not even funny.
How the heck did Khloe and the Kardashians win?
Also, like, I get it's the People's Choice Awards, but I really don't think the people deserve...
Not these people.
And also, they need some criteria. Like, it's not just who you like.
Biggest year ever with Vanderpump in itself.
And, like, I think there should be criteria of who you should vote for. Garcelle, honestly, is having phenomenal seasons, phenomenal reality work. She incites a little bit of chaos. She calls people out. She has messy commentary in the interviews. She has alliance, like, she has true friends. She's doing she's asking the tough questions, everything a reality TV should do. The Kardashians, that's not fair because they're running their own show. To me, that's not true reality. Well, none of it's true reality.
None of it's true, but they are producing themselves.
Yeah, so, like, I don't think that's fair, and I haven't been interested. Like, I'm someone who will criticize the Kardashians but still watch the show, and it honestly hasn't even been that good for me to watch because I'm not getting any information that's not... It's so curated. It's so...
I just don't care about them anymore.
Yeah, I need a break from them too. I'm enraged. I get it.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, and she's won it so many years. And
what?
Chloe's a sweetheart, but you can't...
Because she's been through it all? Haven't we all?
She's been through it all so many times.
So has everybody else.
And that's not what the reward for. It's like entertainment. And I really
She's not that entertaining.
Yeah.
Maybe through the scope of, like, just her show, she's the most entertaining character on the show because everybody else is boring. But like, not when we're talking about Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, there is...
That's what's wrong with America.
Stuff going on.
People aren't focused on the real issues. That's what's wrong with America. I'm really glad. I'm only there for the fashions, so I wasn't interested in the results, but I'm glad
the more you know.
Looped me in. Taylor Swift. There haven't been a ton of developments, but she performed You're Losing Me. That was the first time she performed that, and she openly said, I wrote this when I was going through a really hard time in my life. The rage in her face, the emotion, like, I loved it. And as you said, Joe is in the club. He is in the Jake Gyllenhaal. His
time is coming quickly.
And I didn't, because we have so many other things to talk about, I didn't write down the whole creator's theory, but there was a creator on TikTok who went back and listened to a Midnights. And I do agree, it does very much sound like a breakup album, and I think she was able to get away with that without too much speculation at first because she said she wrote it to reflect back on different midnights in her life.
Right.
I think that there are probably more songs about Joe than we realize, but I totally co-sign the theory that Joe probably realistically made her sign an NDA that at the end of their relationship, that's like, you have to wait. They had a PR plan to release the announcement of their breakup because it was months after. Right. It's not like it was just randomly leaked, like 100%. It was very strategic. I know I'm losing you, but I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
I think they had an NDA, and the song The Great War is about the NDA. So that's all I can remember from the theory. But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
The NDA that they couldn't talk about their relationship after they broke up, or what can... Okay.
Well, I don't know the fine print, but that's just Taylor Swift writes so relatably, but we forget that there are those PR and strategic conversations that have to take place in the back end. And I just would pay money to know what it was like breaking up with her and Joe. Like, they definitely signed what don't you like about this theory?
I don't think it's I don't like it.
You're just like, it's not groundbreaking.
Processing my thoughts.
So that's why she's really emphasizing, I wrote this 2 years ago, like, that it's about the breakup, but I think that there was a very specific timeline on when she can actually start commenting. And I think
that's very well can be true, but for Joe to have such a inflated ego to be like, we must sign an NDA so you cannot talk about our relationship when we break up. Like, dude, like,
but I think that's how I view him.
Down.
That's nobody, how I view him.
I mean, yes, everybody actually cares, but like, nobody cares about you that much. Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? And
she has dated much bigger stars before.
No one cares about you.
You were in, I can't even name the show that he was in. I tried watching it and it was like horrendous. Worse than the book, and they didn't even like the book. I couldn't get through it. In comparison to who else she's dated in the past, nobody cares.
No one cares.
So who are you to make her, or maybe she had him sign the NDA. I don't know. We don't know.
I'm sure it was like a contract they signed together.
Come on, dude.
I know. Barf. You got to catch me up on the Traitors.
The Traitors. I feel like people need to be talking about this show more. I think this show is very slept on.
It should be on the People's Choice Awards.
It should have been.
Yeah.
I feel like this is still very new. It's not as well established. It's only the second season.
Yeah.
But for anybody who watches reality TV, you need to be watching this show because it 100%. Has some great OG kind of like second, third tier reality stars, but that's what we love. We love and appreciate them. And so I think I'm more caught up than you are.
You're more caught up than me. I'm a little overwhelmed.
In it now. I watched the first season. It's always kind of a slow start until they really get the gears going and start like pinpointing on who the traitors are. The train has left the station now and they are cruising. Peter has really come out as the dark horse, I think, from the show. Pilot Pete from The Bachelor.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anybody suspected him to be a viable contestant on the show because he's a bachelor and doesn't do any of those challenge type shows where you need strategy. Oh Jesus.
I'm smooth.
So Peter really shown he's got some strategic insight and just figuring it out. He's pinpointed 2 of the 3 traitors so far.
No way.
And the most recent episode...
Which ones?
Well, the most recent episode, they banished Parvati, so she's finally out because he's kind of had it out for her.
So Phaedra's still coasting.
Phaedra is now the lone traitor at this point because they also got rid of Dan like a couple episodes ago.
I mean, Phaedra doesn't even know how to be a traitor, so I think she's the perfect traitor.
She's just kind of floating about, and she just...
She never here we are. Says anything too concrete. Says, all right.
She's great at listening, taking what somebody else says, and then regurgitating it in a slightly different way to make it feel like it's fresh and new, but it's actually just somebody else's exact thought. Mm-hmm. And it's working for her.
It's working.
The most recent episode ended with her being the final traitor, and so she is then met with the decision that she has to give an ultimatum to one of the faithfuls of you either become a traitor with me or you die.
Ooh. So she has to make a decision.
They ended the episode saying who she chose, and she chose Kate, which I think is a great choice.
Which one is Kate?
Kate Chastain, who comes halfway through the season.
Yes.
She was on last season. I think they brought her back because she's just see good.
Yeah.
And have you watched the Below Deck episodes where she's the chief stew?
No.
Oh, I
just know of her. That's what I know.
Character and personality.
Yes.
So, I mean, Kate is going to accept because she was born to be a traitor. She will love it. But I think Peter's wheels are kind of coming off at this point. People are now suspecting him as a traitor because he's been so outspoken and vocal.
Okay.
And it came out last episode that he was trying to work with Parvati.
Okay.
So everyone's kind of looking at him now of like, you're kind of going off track and you're making yourself look a little
I feel like Kate is so obvious though to be a traitor. It's almost like
I think so,
obvious.
But nobody has suspected her this far.
Okay.
I think Phaedra also, if she wasn't going to pick Kate, should have picked John. So of the contestants, the entire cast consists of some Real Housewives, people from MTV's The Challenge. We've got some Survivor cast, Big Brother, kind of like the whole gambit of Love Island, all that. And then we've got John. He was a past Speaker of the House of Commons. So like an actual political figure.
Very involved in Brexit.
In Great Britain. And he's just here on the show.
He's here.
So he was a very random cast
Justice for John because poor man struggles with asthma. And
I'm glad he made it through those first couple episodes where he was really in the crosshairs of people because the poor man is like
just trying to catch
70 years old doing these physical challenges. Of course he can't breathe.
They're like, we heard that way you started breathing heavy.
But John has still made it. So I think John would have made a great traitor because everybody has gone on the record of saying John is a faithful. Like this man could never be a traitor.
And at this point, like no one would expect that. That's the update.
Where we're at. We're down to the final 10 people.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update. I honestly was going to give you an update on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I have not watched any of the season. I have no context for it.
Nothing.
Real Housewives is another series for me that I have just become exhausted by. I feel like if you're not fully committed 100% to a certain franchise, it just like, I feel like you get drowned by it. It's hard to keep your head above water. I have not dipped my toe into a franchise in a very long time. So
no, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
It's a commitment.
This season is really good though, because, but like I said, I can say that all I want, but if you haven't been in it, it's very overwhelming. But the Kyle and Mauricio drama, again, it's almost like Scandival where we've heard everything at this point.
Yeah.
And we're looking to the show to give details, but honestly, they've been in the reality TV game long enough. They know how to strategically give little pieces. And at the point in the show I'm at right now, which is, I haven't finished the most recent episode. For the first time this season, Kyle says, I'm not sharing with the women yet that I'm not sure if my marriage will make it. So it's the first little bits we're getting.
Gosh.
And it's like, I think everyone knows. I think everyone reads the internet. I think her behaviors have changed so much. Like, I think people are aware. Erica's just having a phenomenal season, just phenomenal comeback. Like, that's the way to handle a scandal, because she really leaned into being transparent about it. And even though she was hated at times, she has been like, I'm not going anywhere, because she has no other income since the whole Tom Girardi, the whole thing with the ring right now, or earrings. She had like $1 million earrings that many of the cast members had issues with her keeping because they're like,
I do remember
the victim's
that.
money.
Yes. She should have given them back.
Yeah. When it's like, they were arguing about two separate things. Like Erica was saying, you'll see, I'm going to be vindicated. And but they weren't worried about what was going to happen legally. They're like, you're not showing compassion. So I think that's been like a little bit of, when
drama. Has Erica ever been a super warm, compassionate person like that? And she think you were asking for something that you were just not going to get.
Yes,
at the time or ever from her. So
so nothing that much is new. She's getting drunk all the time, and she kind of becomes this Professor Trello, similar to your Facebook friend. Your Facebook source. She kind of is like, she knew everything. Like, she became this encyclopedia. In not this past episode, but the episode before then, they were sitting down with all of these like scholars, and she was just naming like facts about the world, and like she became this all-knowing source of information. Wow. So Erica Jane is well traveled, and who knew?
Good for her.
Hilarious scene, and that's about all I have on that.
And now we have Summer House. I'm so excited for Summer House because
so excited.
That is a show that I feel very well versed in. And since the beginning.
The Scandal, I actually feel like we'll get insight, and we don't have all the information.
And we're going to see it from the very beginning of the season. Like, they start with that, which is what we need.
Yes, I'm very excited for it.
So that is what I'm also going to be committing my time to.
And then Love is Blind. You started getting...
Yes, Gabe and I started the other night. We only watched the first episode.
And Meg starts to say, I love, and I finish her sentence, I say, Matthew. You love Matthew.
I didn't realize people hate him.
Oh, Meg, people are like, he is the most out-of-pocket character.
I immediately, Gabe and I were watching, and I say right away, like his first scene, I was like, I like him. And Gabe was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I feel like him and I would get each other. Yeah. I get him. I don't know. Like,
I think this is a Matthew.
Straight, no fluff.
But you've only seen one episode.
I've only seen one episode. And what I've seen so far, I love him.
So you're going to be taken for a ride, but at the end of the day, I think
do know he's playing two girls, though, and he's telling them the same exact thing. That was in the first episode where the two girls are talking, and she's saying what he told her.
Yes.
And it is the same exact thing that he was telling another person that he was...
But red flag...
Which, that was the first red flag for me.
They haven't aired the other conversation with that girl, which confuses me. They never do. Oh. Which I find really weird. But I do think you're still going... I think this is a Matthew empathizer podcast, because I texted, I'm watching, and he reminds me of my brother in the way that he says, he's not made for reality television. You can tell based on his appearance, he's highly
he's like
manicured.
A financial...
He's a perfectionist.
Advisor, I think.
Yes. And he reminded me of my brother, and I'm like, this is how my brother would act going into the TV show. He would try and prepare with a list of questions. Like, I think people aren't realizing that, like, he actually feels so uncomfortable and awkward, and he's sober, which they don't say in the show. And I looked it up and I sent it to my family, and I'm like, Noah, there's this reality TV show guy that is exactly like you before I got to the red flags. And he's like, gee, thanks, Emma, and sends me an article that's like, why like Matthew is the ultimate villain. And I'm like,
the villain? That's so mean.
I know. I think he's misunderstood. I think he's not made for reality television. I think he's...
Even with the first episode, they paint him as... Because they do show some scenes where after they're dating and they're back into their little weird apartment thing that they're living in, all the guys are like cheersing with their like goblets, and poor Matthew is off reading his notes. I mean, I would be doing the same thing. I don't want to converse with other people. Like, leave me be. I'll be off to the side. But yes, you're right. He's not trying to act a certain way just because he's on a reality show. He is who he is, and that's what he's doing. I'm a little nervous for the red flags to come, but I think he just needs some therapy behind Matthew.
Yes, and I think he's wired to be a perfectionist, and he maybe is going to this game and playing it a bit like a game, but I don't think there's malicious intent. I think it's like, this is a man who's a high achiever, who is a little lacks social awareness, who's an introvert.
He's got his list, and you are, at the end of the day, the point of the show is to find potentially your husband or wife. So he's
challenging himself.
Yeah. He's taking this seriously.
He's taking it seriously. I don't know if you've got here yet. I just will tell you there is a scene where, I just have to tell you this, where Chelsea is describing herself.
Oh, it's Megan Fox, right?
No, not Megan Fox.
I saw somebody compare themselves to Megan Fox, I think. Or I heard,
she's not really sure if he's, people always compare me to like, MGK's wife or girlfriend. And he goes, Megan Fox? That's like me saying... Oh yeah, people compare me to Jay-Z's wife all the time. You mean Beyonce? People compare me to Joe Alwyn's ex, Taylor Swift. Like,
is she trying to like play it off, like play it cool? Like, I think, that girl.
And I had so much like frustration, and hatred towards her. But then I'm like, as the show goes on, she is so insecure, and I think she actually thrives in the pod setting because
she's got people thinking she looks like Megan Fox.
And then Riley's like, Emma, do you think that's like a cheating? And I'm like,
but also
the guy shouldn't fall for it.
She also objectively does not look like Megan Fox.
No.
At all. Kind of some false advertising, I would say.
False advertising, yes. And
maybe don't. Yeah.
Just keep watching the show because she's a hard watch. And Riley felt like that was the lowest blow anyone's ever done on Love is Blind. Like there wasn't even competition after that for Jessica, who's interested in Jimmy, because she just said she looked like Megan Fox.
And this poor man's got Megan Fox in his head now.
Yeah, but not poor man, because like he's kind of annoying.
Who is it?
He give Jimmy. He's just a nothing.
Oh, yes.
Just a nothing burger. Doesn't give us anything. I don't get
remember him.
Yeah, you'll get to know Jimmy. Like, he's just like a nothing burger. Chelsea is on the floor 10 times. Someone's like, oh, my dream day is going to the beach and drinking a beer. And she's on the ground crying. This is all she's ever wanted. Chelsea, I'm just fatigued of Chelsea. But I love Jessica, and I appreciate her directness. And when Jessica told him she had a kid, did you notice he was like, she said she's 28 and she's like, I had a kid 10 years ago. And Jimmy's like,
doing the math.
So you were pretty young. That was like red flag for me. Yeah, so the show is good. Megan Fox gate marks like sets the tone for the season. So
awesome.
It's a big
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to watching
really
more.
Good.
It's a great show.
It's really hard for me to watch though. The cringiness is off the charts, but I want to start a weekly segment. I'll first start off, called the rabbit hole of the week. Like, what rabbit hole did we go through? You said you had one.
I have one.
What is
it?
Like
right off the cuff. You were telling me about this. I'm like, I already know my rabbit hole. I haven't dove all the way into this rabbit hole yet.
Okay.
I'm still kind of at the surface, but I know it's a rabbit hole that I'm going down because I've already started to.
Okay.
Her name is Risa Tisa. I'm not sure if you've seen this on TikTok yet. Risa Tisa has recently released about a 50-part
I've seen the
story on TikTok about how she was pretty much married to a man who was a pathological liar, and she recently found out that literally every single thing he's ever said to her was fake and a lie. And it's her recounting this and just like telling the story of like how she's gone through and like figured out that he is a fake. And just
50 parts.
50 parts.
I did get on to one of those.
I've only watched like the summaries of the 50 parts.
Okay. And is it good? Like it's
good. And I've heard she's like actually a great storyteller.
That's
and
everything.
Pulls you in. So that Risa Tisa is going to be my rabbit hole this week.
Okay.
And I'll report back. I'll probably have a new one next week, but
okay.
That's pretty much all you need to know. She was married to a pathological liar and recently figured it out, and it's crazy.
Okay, I did see like a snippet of that, and then I pressed the comments to be like, what's this video about? And they're like, 50 parts is too much for me. And but I'll have to.
There's some good summaries, recaps to watch.
Okay.
To just get the overview.
I'm looking forward. I don't think it's a super complex one, but this week, Dakota Johnson being unapologetically unaware that she didn't know she was in a Marvel installment, and openly clearly hated the movie she was in, like Madam Web or something. Yeah. And then there were 3 other girls, Sydney Sweeney and then 2 other actresses.
It got god-awful reviews, so I mean, can't blame her.
Reviews. And it's so clear, like in one of the TikTok videos I've seen so far, they're like, how did you bond with the girls on the set? And she's like, they bonded. No, I would peg you for a Dakota Johnson fan.
I love her.
I'm impartial. I'm kind of fascinated. So I want to get into that this week. I'm trying to think if I've had any other rabbit holes. I don't think, just my color analysis thing, which I so desperately posted to my favorite podcasters and did get mentioned in a Patreon. So consider this the start of my color analysis career. I haven't virtual. Yes. Trying to dip my toe in, but it's more just a way to distract from actual responsibilities like laundry and stuff.
Oh, my Facebook conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. You have to give us an update on your...
Really quick, because there's only just been one other post.
Okay.
If you listen to our last episode, you'll know I have a friend on Facebook who's been going deep down. Her rabbit hole is the royal family's current news and her conspiracy theories. So she's posted an update since our last episode, and it says, quote, "This website hoopla is a bunch of bollocks." So she's using British lingo now. She's kind of like really...
She's taking on the culture.
She is. So it's a bunch of bollocks. More media distractions and nothing more than dumping hate on number 2 and MM while they're
Meghan Markle.
Yep. while there still have been no eyes on her.
Where is she?
Kate Middleton.
Where is she?
She's apparently like...
She's gone.
And this post, she's really been opening the eyes up of her friends on Facebook, who I have no idea what's going on. So this post got about like 19 comments of people, first of all, checking in on her like, you okay?
You okay? Yeah.
We good here? Like, what's going on? And then other people being really supportive of like, thank you so much for
bringing this to light
and educating us all on this.
She's like the Facebook demois for the royal family.
She is.
Mixed with Professor Trelawney from, did I say that correctly?
Yes.
From Harry Potter. Just kind of reading the signs. Yeah. Let us know when she when Kate Middleton resurfaces, because I'm sure there will be plenty to analyze.
Over Facebook.
Yeah. For sure.
That's the most recent update that I've got for you. So stay tuned.
We'll have a lot to talk about next week with Summer House.
Yes.
And of course I love Watch What Happens Live after Summer House too, and like Bravo shows, because Andy always asks the hard hitting questions. Yep. We'll talk about that, our rabbit hole of the week, and just all the other important issues that we'll tackle.
Yep.
And stay tuned.
That's all I got.
That's all we got. That's all she wrote. Oh, but we should say, if you're listening on Spotify, know that there's also a video on YouTube. And
yes, listen on Spotify, watch on YouTube, follow on Instagram and TikTok.
And for any techies out there, you'll notice this week it isn't in 4K, which was a big sacrifice we had to make. But apparently the TikTokers...
Do people actually have... I didn't even know 4K TVs were a thing.
No, I don't think anyone
out there. I don't know if any of our followers right now are really watching through 4K. If you are, let us know. We still won't record in 4K, but
no, if the quality takes a hit. But from what I'm understanding is usually people are watching on their phones, and you can't even watch them.
And
4K.
when you watch on YouTube already, which I've been learning, it already translates it into 4K. So
you're kidding me.
I'm not. I wish I was. So we're good on that front. You won't even notice.
Wow.
It's fine.
Okay. No, I am not worried at all. I'm ready to close the chapter in 4K in my life.
So annoying.
All right. Thanks for listening.